this all is a theory part that okay, DSCP server is providing like this, working like this, right? But what about a practical? If you okay, just assume you are admin, right? You are a system admin. There is another person, okay, another member in IT team who is a development team. Okay, there is another development team, developers, tester. So the developer and tester are using their machine, right? So every company want their private network should be secure. Every company, no one, because private network is a secure and we can manage it as an engineer. But the public network is unsecure, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in a security there is a lot of attacks. We have a MITM, which is very famous mail in the middle attack, and there is another okay, a lot of buffing thing, a lot of exploit things. So that's why okay, in a private network it's very tough for anyone to enter in a network and to do something wrong. But in a but in a public it's a very easy. It's a publicly, it's open for everyone. That's why how as an admin you will configure your DSCP server and how your client machine will get a IP address, how your client machine will get a IP address from a server. Correct. So let's try to understand the practical part, okay, and how to do and what to do. Guys, so okay, I'm going on a notepad. Okay. The practical number 1, we have a practical on a, because that one is only a theory part. That what a DSCP server, how it works, their port node is only a theory. Rest all thing is a practical. So practical on DSCP server. Okay. What is the practical? Practical will be, okay, guys, so first of all, what we require. Okay, what is our hardware requirement if we are going to do a practical inside of VMware? Correct.
Yes, sir.
Because the server machine and client machine install and configure in a VMware, no? For me and for you
Yes,
also.
sir.
So what we need means what is our hardware need? Correct. हमें क्या चाहिए hardware? Okay, in a hardware need. So our hardware need is, first of all, we need a one Windows server machine. Any version, 2012 or 2016, 2019, any version, doesn't matter for us. Number second, we need one Windows client machine. Client machine in the sense Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 7, anything. One Windows client machine. Because okay, our practical will be like, the scenario in the practical will be how this server will provide IP address and how this client will catch it. How the server will distribute and how the client will get. Okay, this is a process we need to see. Right now, how it's happening actually on a real time. Correct. So this is our hardware need, right? After hardware need, guys, we have some settings. If directory I will start any practical, okay, directory I will install, I will configure any roles inside a Windows server. So it will be unsuccessful. For example, if you remember, when you was adding a ADDS role, so you have set a static IP in your server machine. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yes, sir.
Because you can add any role once the machine having a static IP. आप किसी रोल को ऐड कर सकते हो जब उस पे static IP configure हो. Because the reason is dynamic IP may be change anytime. We don't know na, when my IP will change.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the services that a server is providing to a client, services, either services is related to something network, so it will be fluctuate. It will be breach. Services will not services will not complete. It may be get some error. So that's why always for installing any role, okay, the preferred thing is the static IP. That's why like that for a DSCP server also we have some requirements. Okay, we have some prerequisites that we are calling pre-requirement. Because directly if I will install any role, okay, and I will configure, so maybe the client machine will not get a correct output as okay I'm expecting. Maybe the client machine will not get the exact output as I'm expecting. So that's why we have some pre-requirement. What are the pre-requirements? The pre-requirement is number one, guys, Windows Server machine is providing a service to only those machines who are in their domain. Windows Server machine, I'm not saying every time, but it's a 90% case that the server will provide a Windows server. I'm talking with you. Server having a lot of types: Linux, Windows, Unix, lot of things. So Windows Server will provide a service to those machines who are in their domain. Means the client machine should be connected with a server domain. So number one pre-requirement is client machine should be connected with server domain. Means as an example, if server machine having a domain evision.com, evision.local as an example, so the client machine should be in the same domain. Means client machine should have a domain joined with server. Client machine server का domain join होना चाहिए. Then that one client machine can get the IP address from a DSCP server. Because we are going to install the DSCP role, we are going to do a practical on a DSCP inside Windows environment, inside a Windows server environment. Okay, so this is requirement number one. Requirement number two is first I'm writing, okay, then I will explain to you. I say, what is the pre-requirement? Server and client machine both should be in the same network. Okay, what is the meaning, guys? Let's try to understand through a diagram. Just assume if server machine is connected from, okay, there is a router in a company, okay, in a real time. Okay, there is a router. Just assume this is a router. Okay, and this client, okay, and this server machine is connected with this router. Okay, and client machine will connect with another router. This is a router, just assume. Okay, router to switch, then switch to PC. Okay, I'm making a direct connection here. In a real time, what's happening? There will be a router. From one router to there will be a multiple switch, and from a switch the PC will connect. Correct. So this is a router. Guys, so if the server machine is connected with this router, okay, and client machine will connect with some other router. So is the server can provide a service to client machine? No. Why? Because network is different. Because network is different. Network should be same. Correct. Means the client machine should be connected with the same router, no?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Maybe different switch. Maybe okay, for a server room there is a special switch. For a particular department, IT department, there is a different switch. For a for a developer, there is a different switch. For a internet. But the router is one, no? Single router. Means network is same. Guys, so in a real time, in a real scenario, in a real world, it's a very easy to identify that network is same or not. How? Once the connection through a same router. एक ही router से अगर connection हो रहा बहुत जगह का, the switch is dividing a logical. Nothing. So router is same for multiple departments, for multiple PCs, means network is same. So in a real time, it will be very easy. Okay, I can check that router. Okay, this is a router. Okay, from this router, this is this switch, this is this switch. Okay, but single router now is providing a switching. But guys, we are going to perform our practical inside a VMware. We are going to perform our practical inside VMware, as you know. So if we are going to perform our practical in a VMware, so how in a VMware I will get a router? VMware मुझे router कैसे मिलेगा? I need a router, no? As an example, as for the real time, I need a virtual router in a VMware because VMware is for virtualization. So I need a virtual router. Number one challenge. Second challenge is, for example, I have created a virtual router in a VMware. So I need to connect the server machine through a router, okay, through same virtual router, and I need to connect the client machine through a same virtual router. So if what's happening, VMware and VirtualBox, this kind of virtualization software having a feature of network adapter. Okay, by default in a VMware we are working on a NAT adapter, NAT network adapter, NAT mode. Anyone had seen NAT in a VMware?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so guys, like the NAT, what NAT is doing? NAT is
Network
dividing the
address.
network. Network address translation.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Private to public IP. And public IP to private IP, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
This
sir.
is work of NAT now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope in a network you have done, and maybe you are learning right now NAT and PAT. Network address
sir.
translation and port address translation.
Okay.
Maybe you will learn in the future. Okay, after some class. So what NAT is doing basically, NAT is converting our private IP to a public IP. And if any public IP is coming, then NAT will convert into a
Okay.
private IP. This is the work of a NAT. So by default, our VMware having a NAT network adapter. I will show you. But guys, like a NAT adapter, in a downside, I will get an option of LAN segment. There is a LAN segment adapter in a VMware. Correct. So what we need to do, we need to connect the server machine and client machine through a same LAN segment. Okay, how can we make sure that two machine is connected through a same router and same network? मैं VMware के अंदर कैसे इंश्योर करूंगा कि दो अलग अलग मशीन सेम राउटर से कनेक्टेड है? How can you make sure in a VMware that two different machines are connected through a same router? Once two different machines are connected through a same LAN segment name adapter, virtual network adapter. Means this is my server. Okay, just assume now this is a VMware. Okay, infrastructure. So this is my server machine now. So I need to go to the settings. Okay, in the settings, you know, we are getting option now. Network adapter. Okay, by default it's a NAT. We need to make it LAN segment. LAN segment. Okay, and through a same LAN segment, I need to connect my client machine. Means once two different machines in a VMware will connect through a same LAN segment named virtual adapter, then I will be 100% sure that the connection is same, network is same. Correct. So that's why in a VMware, what we need to do for making the two different machines in a same network, we need to make two different machines in a same LAN segment. दो अलग अलग मशीन को मुझे एक ही LAN segment में रखना होगा. How to do? I will show you. Once this will complete, then all our settings, pre-requirement settings completed. Then we will move to our process. Correct. So guys, first of all, I'm going to complete the hardware need and a pre-requirement. Okay, step by step. So guys, we need a one Windows Server machine. So in my VMware, the workstation, okay, here I have one server machine. This is my server machine. Okay. I'm using 2016. What is the version you are using doesn't matter. Okay. It's already in a lens screen. Just give me a second. Okay. I'm making a default connection. Okay. I'm changing something. Okay. I'm making a default. मैं इसे default कर देता हूँ. So look, I can show you from starting. ताकि आपको starting से दिखा दूँ. Okay. Just give me a second. Because already, okay, I saw the same practical on the morning class for different batches. Guys, so now see, okay, I have a one Windows Server machine. Okay, for a server, I'm using a version 2016, which is not a very older and which is not a very latest. It's a middle version. Correct. Latest version of Windows Server is
22.
Windows Server 2022. Okay, but even the company, mostly as I'm seeing right now and from starting, okay, the company is preferring 2016. Okay, 2019, because 2022 is the very latest. Okay, because for our personal, for a running purpose, we can switch. Okay, we can download any ISO file, we can use it. Now it's okay. So I'm going to, okay, so I have one server machine, one client machine, Windows 10 machine. I have, means my hardware need is completed as you have already.
Yes, sir.
Now, second pre-requirement. Okay, now we are moving to a pre-requirement. So client machine should be connected with the server domain. So for this, I need to check in my server what is the domain name. Then I need to check the client machine is in the same domain, right? So let's test it. I'm going to check first. I'm going to power on my server machine as well as I'm going to power on my Windows 10 client machine. मैं दोनों मशीन को power on कर दे रहा हूँ. Okay, it will take a few seconds and machine will start. Then I will show you. Okay. So, okay, so I'm going to log in on a server firstly. Okay. and I'm going to log in my client machine. Okay. So in this server machine, okay, I will check what is the domain. So you are able to see domain name is the event.local, right? So client machine, okay, is going to, okay, client machine also ready, okay. I'm going to check here also. Is it same domain or something different or work group? Sorry. There will be sysdem.cpl. Okay, I'm just checking that. Event.local, right?
Yes.
Means it's confirmed now. Client machine is connected with a server domain. Now, second number pre-requirement, server and client both machines should be in the same network. दोनों same network में होनी चाहिए. Means we need to make a LAN segment. Now guys, see how I'm creating a LAN segment and how I'm connecting. The things are very easy, but see the tricks. Trick is very easy. I'm on my server machine right now, correct? See, okay, where is my cursor? मेरा cursor कहाँ पे ये देखना आप? In this, okay, I'm marking right now. Okay, here I will right click. Okay, right click. I will click on settings. In a settings, you are able to see network adapter is a NAT by default. Okay, we need to make it LAN segment. So click on LAN segment. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, I clicked on LAN. Okay, I clicked on LAN segment, but there is no any segment is present here. यहाँ कुछ present नहीं है.
Yes, sir.
So what I will do basically, I will click on LAN segments here, and I will click on add. So now you are seeing there is a, when I clicked on add, automatically LAN segment 1 got created, which is a global LAN segments. We'll click on OK. Now from this drop down menu here, I will select LAN segment 1. We'll click on OK. So now server machine is connected with LAN segment 1, means router 1. Means the client, means in a client side, I need to connect with the same router. Means
Yes, sir.
same LAN segment. So I will right click. I will click on settings. I will click on network adapter. NAT by default. We'll click on LAN segment and automatically before this I have created a LAN segment 1. Okay. LAN segment 1 already I have created, right? So from here only I will select LAN segment 1. Means guys, server machine is connected with the LAN segment 1, means virtual router 1. Client machine is connected with the LAN segment 1, means virtual router 1. Means now both machine is connected through a same network. दोनों एक ही नेटवर्क से कनेक्टेड है. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, once it will complete, then we can move forward our process. Okay, according to process, what's happening? First of all, we need to install. We need to install DHCP server. Okay, and how to install? You know how to install any role. So click on
roles add and
add roles
feature.
and features, right? Then you will select the role DHCP server, right now. There will be role name
Yes, sir.
DHCP server. Once okay, it will select, you will click on next. Okay, 1-2 time next and the finish. Okay, and then you will click on install. Correct. So DHCP server role will install. Right. So I'm going to do right now.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, like you change the setting in the like you have selected
Yes.
the LAN segment option. Okay. So without it, these two machines won't be able to communicate
Will
with
be
each other.
able to communicate with okay with each other, but it will not be sure that router is same because it's a VMware, no? It's a virtual tool, so it's going to mismatch.
But sir, in our, I'm not confirmed, but I'm just guessing that in our real-time environment, in our company campus also, all the devices will be the part of the same network, correct?
Yes.
So there we are using router just for bringing the internet connectivity basically, na, onto
No.
our campus.
Actually, what's happening? For example, there is a multiple router, correct?
Okay.
Okay, it's also happening that there is a multiple router, but through a routing, what we can do, we can make it same network. One router is, for example, you is an office, is in a Noida, is in a Delhi, is in a Gurgaon. Okay, 3 different locations.
Okay.
But all the employee are accessing internet through a single router. How? There is a routing between the different branches.
Okay. So you mean to say we are connecting here different branches, kind of, correct?
Yeah, here it's connecting the same branches or different. You can take any example because it's a
Yeah.
virtual tool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about a real time.
Hmm.
Okay, here the LAN segment simple works like a router. LAN segment simple एक virtual router की तरह काम करता है. It works like a virtual router. So if LAN segment works like a virtual router, okay, so we all know if two machines I want that will be on the same network. So the easy things for us will be we can check network is same or not.
Okay. So you mean to say that in the real time, this thing we have to do if our DSCP server and the client are present on a different network. You mean to say different campus or different city location, right?
Yes, then there we have a routing.
Okay. And if both the machines are present on the same campus, then it is not needed.
No, then
Yes.
then it's a very
is-
easy.
yes,
Take a
yes.
cable, make a connection.
Okay. Go.
Then okay, we don't need to go for any logical like of routing and switching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then there will be a simple connection.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yes. Okay, so now okay, I'm going to install DSCP server role because okay, all of you can see it carefully. Are you able to see any role name of DSCP?
Yes, sir. No, sir. At present, it's not
Yes, sir.
installed.
Where? It's not installed
no.
now. Okay, see what's happening. This is a feature on a Windows server. If you are installing any role, means if any role is already installed, so in a tools option you are able to see an option like DNS tool is DNS role is installed, right? See DNS role is installed. So there is a tool of DNS. ADDS role is installed. So there is a different tools of ADDS. There is a WDS role is installed. So there is a tool of Windows Deployment Services. So if any role is installed on a server, so their tool will also present here. But DSCP tool is not present. DSCP role is not installed. Okay, you can also verify from here, right? ADDS, DNS, and WDS, no DSCP. So I'm going to add DSCP. How? Just click on add roles and features. Next, okay, and you know how to add any role. DSCP server, right? See, DNS server installed. ADDS, okay. You are seeing bracket installed, it means this is installed service. I'm going for DSCP server. Click on DSCP server, click on add features. Now click next. Now next. Okay, now you can read a theory. Okay, it's a theory. Like a DSCP allows server to assign lease IP address like that. No need. If you want, you can read. Next, then click on install. Okay, and now it will take a few seconds for installing. You know. Yes. So once that DSCP role will install. So now it will be time of configuration. Of time I have configuration. Setup. How would I set up a DSCP role after installing? Okay, see, setup of DSCP role depends upon our requirement. For example, I want to provide IP address to a 100 PC. Okay, there is a 100 client. Okay, I'm taking example of a 100 client. Okay, there's a 100 client PC is connected through my domain. Okay, and I want to provide IP address to a 100 client PC. So 100 PC is my requirement. So we need to set a range. We need to set a range on a DHCP server according to a requirement. How? Once the installation will finish, okay, it's going on a background. So once it will finish, then we will click on a tools option, because I remember I steps. Okay, because I did this kind of things more than I think, don't know how much time. Correct. If I were gonna half sleep now, even I can tell I step for these things. So that's why, okay, we will click on a tools. Okay, in a tools, then we will click on DHCP option. Okay, when I will click on DHCP option, there will be option will come IP version 4 or IP version 6. There will look two option will come. IP version 4 or IP version 6. Which IP I want to set on a server, which IP range I want to configure. So definitely IP version 4, because IP version 4 having a classes, IP version 6 a classless, right?
Yes, sir.
And all of you are
Yes, sir.
already aware about their ranges and classes, so it will be easy for you.
Yes,
Okay, so
sir.
that's why, okay, I'm selecting IP version 4. So in IP version 4, what I will do, I will right click. Okay, I will click on add a scope. What is the meaning of scope? So in a DHCP server, scope means ranges of IP address that will be distributed by the server, that will be distributed by the server. The range of IP address that will be distributed by the server is known as scope. So I need to click on add a scope. So when I will click on add a scope, it will ask to me scope name, give a scope name. So in a scope name, I can give any name. मैं कोई भी नाम दे सकता हूँ. I can give my name, your name. Okay, I will give a company name, eVision. Correct. Once, okay, then after doing this, then I will get two options. मुझे दो option मिलेगा. Start IP address or
And IP address.
end IP address. And there will be end IP address. Correct. Now we need to plan which IP address I want to distribute, which range of IP. So IP version 4 having a private IP range of class A, class B, and class C only, right? For class A 10 dot something, for class B 172.16 dot something, for class C 192.168 or something, right? Let you know. So here I need to plan which range I want to distribute, which class range. So as mostly we are using class C IP. Okay. So what will happen? And my requirement is a 150 PC. Okay, 100 PC. So I will set IP address range. Okay, for example, okay, in a start IP 192.168.1.100. Okay, and end IP range 192.168.1.254. Right, so see, if I will set this range, so how much PC can get IP? 155 PC can get IP. Right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes.
But first
Yes, sir,
PC
yes.
will get first IP 1.100, second PC will get second IP 101, like this.
According
Yes,
to
sir.
range, sir.
Correct. And my requirement is a 100 PC, and I given 50 extra, 55 extra. Because I don't know in a future which, okay, maybe some new member will add in a company, on a development team, on a testing team. Correct. So that one new person needs a IP address. So that's okay, 50 more extra IP. Okay, as I'm calculating. Correct. If my requirement will be 200 PC, what will I do? I will make it 192.168 1.1, 1.1 to 1.254. How much PC?
255.
255 PC can get IP, right?
Yes, sir.
If my requirement is a 500, what will I do? I will create another scope. First scope I will create for this one. Second scope I will create for class B, 172.16.1.1 to 172.16.1 dot something. Right? Means multiple scopes I can create. Depends upon requirements. अपने requirements के ऊपर depend करता है. But my requirement is 100 PC. Okay, as per a real time. So this is the valid range. Correct? So now, okay, now how I'm going to implement? So, okay. Configuration required, installation succeed. Okay. We'll click on complete DSCP configuration. You are seeing authorized DSCP server on target computer means DSCP server will only provide IP address to a computer if the computer is a domain joint. That's why already I written because I was aware. We'll click next, click on commit, click on close. Next, commit and close. Now DSCP role has been successfully installed. DSCP successfully installed हो चुका है. Okay, now you can check DSCP option, right? Because DSCP tool is installed. That's what DSCP tool is present. DSCP role has been installed. That's why DSCP tool is present. Okay. And still now you can check IP address of client machine. अभी तक आप client machine का IP check करो पहले. Okay, I'm going to check the IP of this client machine. CMD. Okay, IP config space slash all. What is IP address? Okay, what is client machine? 192.168.1.12, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Which
sir.
is not a automatic IP. Why? DSCP enabled? No. Means it's a static IP, right? Till now, the client machine having a static IP. Correct now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because DSCP enable, no, DSCP enable नहीं है. Yes, but guys, if the same same machine will get IP address between this range, then our practical is successful, no? So for this, what I have written here, I'm going to perform. I'm going to configure. So we'll click on tools option, DSCP option. Okay. And this is my machine name. I will expand. I'm getting two options, right? As I written there, IP version 4 and IP version 6. In IP version 4, I will right click. I will click on new scope. Why? Because scope means the range of IP address. Okay, that will be distributed by the server, by the server machine. We'll click on new scope. And now you are able to see welcome to the new scope wizard. This wizard helps you set up a scope for distributing IP addresses to computers over the network on your computer, right? You can click on next. Then you are able to see scope name. You have to provide an identifying scope name. Okay, name. Okay, name you can give anything. For example, I am giving the company name. EVISA. Okay, name I can give my name, your name, ABC, XYZ, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Depends on me and you. We'll click on next. Now start IP address and end IP address, right? So as per the planning I will give. So my plan, okay, my planning is written here. Okay, guys, I'm writing everything here, but in the real time, all these things you need to think in your mind. आपको सोच के रखना है पहले से. So this is the the range I'm going to give. Okay, now start IP address 1.100, 1.254, right? So start IP 192.168, 1.100, and end IP 192.168, 1.254, right? Okay, after doing, okay, you are seeing the length. What is the length? Length means this is a class C IP, no? And a class
Yes,
C IP
Yes,
having a 3
24.
network ID. Correct. Class C IP having a 3 network ID. Okay, 8 bit means how much length? 24 bit is a network length.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So that's why, okay, automatically detects 24 length because it's a class C IP range I'm distributing. And this is a by default subnet marks for class C IP. Correct. Once it will complete, then you can click on next. Guys, now all the option that you are able to see now right now is a optional, not compulsory. Sub optional. Okay. So that's why just after configuring IP address range, correct, you can click next and finish. Okay, 4 or 5 times next, because the option will come, it's a optional, it's a supplement. Okay, it's a supplementary, it's not compulsory, and it's not too much useful even. वो useful भी नहीं है हमारे लिए. Okay, that's okay. You can click next. Okay, you're seeing. Okay, this kind of okay option is coming. Do you want to configure DCP option for the scope now? Yes, I want to configure. Why? Okay, if I will click on no, I will configure this option later. Why I will do this thing, right? By default, okay, it's clicking on I want to configure. I will go with same. That's why I'm saying all these things are optional, because what is the recommended setting after giving a start IP and end IP, it will automatically detect. So we'll click
So
on
what is
next.
length?
Okay.
sir?
Length is simple like network ID of a IP address. Class C IP having a 3 network ID.
One
Starting
host bit.
starting
host
3
ID
is a
one.
network bit. Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
8,
Yeah.
for example, this one 8. Sorry.
Yes, sir, I got it.
8 bit, 24 bit. So 24 bit
Yeah.
is a length.
Okay.
Okay. Then all the option is you can say like not mandatory. It's a optional. Okay. Next. Okay, you are saying this kind of okay option is coming. Do you want to activate this scope now? Definitely, yeah. If as an admin I'm creating, I will activate now. Correct.
Yes, sir.
We'll click next. Now you are seeing you have successfully completed a new scope wizard. Click on finish. Guys, now server machine is ready. Now DSCP server has been configured successfully. Now DSCP server has been configured successfully. Correct. Okay, and you can see what is the things. Okay, what are the settings we have given? You can check. Address pool 100 to 254, right? This is start IP and end IP I have given. Address region means, guys, if any client machine will get IP address between this range and from this server, so that one client computer name, which client machine got which IP address, when that one IP address will expire for the client machine, the database will automatically prepare here. But okay, in address lists, you are not able to see anything because of there is no one client machine got IP address till now. किसी client machine को अभी तक इस server से IP नहीं मिला है. Correct. Guys, so now how this client machine will get IP address from this server? Guys, so very easy now. Now the thing is the client machine having a static IP, right? I will remove a static IP. Simple. Correct. Because before a minutes, okay, if you remember, I checked this client machine having a static IP. Is client machine में अभी तक static IP, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will
Yes,
remove static IP. Then let's see what is the IP address the client machine is getting. Correct. So okay, I'm going to remove static IP. How to remove? The way that you are setting a static IP,
Yes.
the same way you can remove.
Yes.
Okay, ncp.cpl Ethernet 0 properties. Okay, IP version 4 properties. Ajay, this is static IP, na?
Yes, sir.
I want to remove. Okay, what I will do? I will click on obtain IP address
okay.
automatically, obtain DNS automatically. Will click OK. Will click close. And now check. Okay, now you can check IP address. Of IP address check karo. One 192.168 1 dot.
Yes.
100 DSCP enable. Yes. Means this client machine is
Server.
getting IP address from this server. Okay, and let's verify from a server. Address is refresh. Yeah, right.